So a lot of things are happening in the world, and I want to go ahead and cover those things. And we will get started. Yes, I'm going to do another video today on Amish ancestry, linked back to the Jews. But that's going to be another video. Alright, so the first one is Trump speaks to Putin. Negotiations on Ukraine war to start immediately. So President Trump said Wednesday that he and President Vladimir Putin have agreed to begin negotiations immediately on ending the Ukraine war and work together very closely. Posting on Truth Social, Trump said he and Putin spoke in a lengthy phone call on Wednesday morning. The Kremlin reported that the call lasted approximately 90 minutes and that the two leaders had agreed to meet. Why it matters? This was the first call between Trump and Putin since the president returned to the White House last month. It followed Tuesday's prisoner exchange in which Russia released American school teacher Mark Fogel after more than 3 years in detention. As a part of the swap, convicted Russian criminal Alexander Vinnik was freed, two U.S. officials confirmed Wednesday, providing details of the exchange. Somewhere in here, they're talking about peace. But anyway, so you get the gist of the matter here. They're talking about ending the war. Now, I want to point out that this, and then another article. Then there's a weakness in Donald Trump, and I will show it to you. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one first. So this irritated me to no end. This is back in January 7th, 2025. Trump warned all hell will break out if Gaza hostages aren't returned before his inauguration. This is dated Tuesday, January 7th. And then, on the 10th, just a few days ago, of February, United States President Donald Trump stated that if Gaza ceasefire deal should be canceled, it should be canceled if all Israeli hostages are not released by Saturday noon. Well, first it was by Inauguration Day, and now it's by Saturday noon. Let your yeses be yeses, and let your noes be noes, and anything else comes from the evil one. So stop being inconsistent. All right? Now, Netanyahu warns ceasefire will be terminated. Trump threatens hell in Gaza if Hamas doesn't free hostages. Both Trump and Netanyahu said they wanted captives freed by Saturday's Day, by Shabbat. Here it is, 2 days before Shabbat, and there are very much doubts if they will free them. Now, on Al Jazeera, Palestinians cannot be transferred from Gaza, Jordanian Foreign Minister says. Fact, they even said that Jordan would declare war on Israel if that were to happen. Then this occurs. Abdullah says Jordan will take in 2,000 sick Gazan kids as Trump pushes relocation plan. So they had a meeting where apparently Donald Trump threatened the Jordanian king to pull all U.S. aid from Jordan, and he's going to meet with the Egyptian prime minister or president and tell him the same thing if they don't accept Gazans. Trump's plan to take over Gaza has alarmed the Arab world, particularly Jordan and Egypt, which the president has singled out as primary candidates to host relocated Palestinians. And I'm going to talk to you about Palestinians. Cairo and Amman have rejected Trump's proposal outright, viewing the arrival of so many Gazans as a security threat and arguing it would expand the Israeli-Palestinian conflict into their borders. Now, what I want to explain to you is that the Gazans are the Pelisheth or Pelishti in Hebrew that were called, on the King James Version, Philistines in the Bible. They are brothers of the Egyptians. They are the Caphtorim. And I have pointed this out several times in the scripture. You'll find it in Exodus and Deuteronomy. Then who are these Arabs that are living in the Judea and Samaria? Those are Edomites. Because, let's see if I can find it. Was named after and let's see if it'll pull up. AI overview does not know what it's talking about. In the time of when the Greeks ruled over the Holy Land, they forced the Jews and Edomites to live together. That's why they called it Judea. Okay? Now, so Judea was a Roman province from 6 to 132 CE, which at its height incorporated the Levantine regions of Judea, Idumea, Samaria, and Galilee. See if we can find that in this map. They make it very difficult to pull these maps up. Okay. Alright, so maybe I'm not quite right, but you see, folks, okay, this is Judea and Samaria, right here, and the southern part is where the Edomites lived. But the fact of the matter is, Edomites are living in Judea and Samaria. That's what's going on, right? So that's to help you discern between the Pelishti, or the Philistines in Gaza, and the Edomites that are living among the Jews, living in the Jews' land. Okay? As they took questions from reporters between their one-on-one meetings, a subsequent sit-down with their advisors, Trump claimed that there would be likely a parcel of land in Jordan and Egypt where the Palestinians would be housed. Asked whether he approved of this idea, visible, uncomfortable Abdullah responded, I have to look into the best interests of my country. The king repeatedly dodged questions from reporters about the U.S. proposal. He wasn't having it. Later Tuesday, Egypt's foreign ministry announced that it plans to present a comprehensive vision for the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip that ensures Palestinians remain on their land. So it looks like, folks, that Donald Trump is not getting any support on his idea from the Jordanians and the Egyptians. Now, so what I want to do is I want to go to Yoel 3 again, probably the 100th time I've done this on this YouTube channel, where it talks about what is going to happen. First of all, right here, it says, and this is when the Jews of Jerusalem are returned in those days and in that time. Okay, and he says he's going to force all the Gentiles down into the valley of judgment and judge them there for my people, for my heritage Israel, who they scattered among the Gentiles and parted my land. So this is the trigger mechanism for the Great War. I've told you over and over again that I do not believe that the Ukraine war would be the catalyst for the final Great World War. That the scripture said that the Yoel 3, aka Ezekiel 38-39 war would be the one. And he says concerning Tyre, Zidon, and Pelesheth, or Pelishti. That's Gaza. So we're talking southern Lebanon and Gaza attacked Israel, attacked the Jews, to try to remove them off their land again. And he says, are you going to render me a recompense? Are you going to deal with me? If you do so, swiftly and speedily. So this recompense, at whatever time this occurs, and I think it's right now, is going to be speedily and swiftly brought against Tyre, Zidon, and Gaza. And Gaza, Pelesheth, or Pelishti, or Philistia, is the inhabitants of the people located in the southwestern coast of Canaan along the Mediterranean Sea, aka Gaza. Okay? He's going to do it swiftly, because you took my silver, my gold, and carried away into your temples my pleasant things. The children of Yehuda and Jerusalem you have sold to the Greeks. Some of them you have kept for yourselves as slaves, and don't even know who they are. I'll get to that in just a minute. That you may remove them far from their border. I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them. He did. I will return your recompense upon your own head. He will. I will sell. Let's look up the word. Sell, and use in context of commercial transactions, such as servants or captives of war. Okay. He's going to do an Uno reverse card on these people who sold them to the Greeks, who sold the Jews to the Greeks, that you might remove them far from their border. So now, payback. He's going to get even with them. It's going to happen no matter how the Egyptians and the Jordanians and the Saudi Arabians no matter their stalling tactics. Behold, I will take them out of the place where you have sold them, and return your recompense upon your own head. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of the United States of America. Nope, not what it says. Into the children of Yehuda, and they shall sell them to the Sabeans, to a people afar off, for Jehovah has spoken. Now what I want to do is, this is an AI voice, so please bear with it. This will tell you where the Sabeans once were. Now the Sabeans did spread across Africa, probably more like sub-Saharan Africa.
Sabeans were an ancient people speaking an old South Arabian language who lived in what is today Yemen. In the southwest of the Arabian Peninsula, Sabeans inhabited the biblical land of Sheba, a trading state that flourished for over 1,000 years in modern-day Yemen. Modern archaeological studies support the view that the biblical kingdom of Sheba was the ancient Semitic civilization of Sabeans in Yemen.
I would disagree. The Sabeans that I'm talking about are in the Bible. Let's go look up Sabeans. Okay, we'll go look up Sheba of Cush. Okay, the sons of Cush. Sheba. And, yeah. The sons of Cush were Sheba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. The sons of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Now, the sons of Cush were not Semitic. Oh, there was a Sheba and Dedan among the Arabians that was Semitic. But see, they don't know which one is which. But here's how I believe I know which one is which. Let me show you something. Those tall Sabeans. The Ethiopians, the Cushites, and the Sabeans. See? It's the EF 4514. We know that Cush are black. And we know that the Sabeans come from Cush. Let's see, 14. Let me get this, pull this up. Says Jehovah, the labor of the Egyptians, the merchandise of Cush, and the Sabeans. It says men of stature, but is it stature? Men of height, tall. We know who the tall men of Africa are. There does not need to be any doubt as to who they are. Related to the Cushites, you see. Labor of Egypt, the merchandise of Cush, Seba. See that? Or Sebai. I want you to look at that. Men of stature. Tall men. Men of extension, height, and breadth. Big men. Big, strong, tall men. In comparison to the men that are around the area. So we know, listen, all we got to do is raise our IQ up a little bit, and we understand what this means. So, when they say Semitic tribes, they're wrong. But they're right about location. This is where they were. And Eritrea is right here. And also Somaliland. Now I got a report. Hold on. Let me look this up. Hope I didn't dream about it. All right, Gazans to Somalia. There's no way. No way that. Okay. Oh, looky here. Oh, so I did read this. Reports from Morocco, 2 disputed Somali regions considered as destination for the Gazans. So what I've been saying is, I've been saying this to my cousin, that deporting them to Egypt or Jordan would be unscriptural. That's a non-starter. That will not work. But to Somalia would be correct, would be biblically accurate. The land of Somalia. Now, but the Sabeans are not necessarily attached to the land they originally once were in. So it could be anywhere in the continent of Africa. Or it could be in Yemen. So Somaliland and Puntland named as locations under discussion for Gaza relocation per Trump's plans. Israeli officials say any talk of destinations is extremely premature. Remember what it says in Yoel 3. He's going to do it swiftly. So something is going to happen that's going to make this transaction occur very quickly. Whenever it does. Israeli and U.S. officials are reportedly looking into Morocco as well as 2 autonomous regions of Somalia. Autonomous regions? Are there autonomous regions in Somalia as potential destinations for relocating Gazans under U.S. President Donald Trump's proposed plans to move Gazans from the war-torn enclave? 2 reports in recent days have named 3 potential destinations. On Wednesday, Channel 12 News reported that Morocco, Puntland, and Somaliland were being considered by the White House. All right. All right, so the Telegraph reported, quoting Puntland's Deputy Information Minister, Yaqub Mohammed Abdallah, saying that his region would happily accept Palestinian refugees, but only if they voluntarily choose to come there. Puntland. Let's look it up. Might as well. Okay. This apparently is right there. Right at the Horn of Africa. And that would be scripturally accurate, wouldn't it? Right at the Horn of Africa. Hey, I'm not the one who told Yoel to write these things down. As somebody used to say, you may not like it, but you better learn to love it. Now, this is a riddle that I needed for my own self. And this one I'm going to show you. Let's just listen to it.
I've seen passports post 1948. Yeah. The Jews of Israel were called Palestinians.
They were, and the Arabs at the same time rejected. Don't you dare call me a Palestinian. That refers to the Jews. The day that Israel became a state, it was front page news on a newspaper that at that time was called the Palestine Post.
I've seen passports.
Did you get that? Prior to 1948, 1948, when Israel finally declared itself a state, the Jews were the Palestinians, as they say. Which explains why this right here is in my family tree. Among all the Mizrahi, Ashkenazi, so on and so forth. But that's for another video. But what I want to explain to everyone here is be mindful, be watchful, because things are taking shape, and what happens in the next couple of days may end up reshaping the Middle East and bringing the great war of Yoel 3.